Now, you'll see in the movie, I gotta tell you, you see in the movie this scene where, Hartnett's sitting there, and he looks out across the big plain of buildings, and he sees with his naked eye an RPG sailing through the air in the helicopter. Could happen, I guess. And he yells to the pilot, over the sound of the helicopter rotors, like there's an RPG coming, and of course the pilot can hear this. And, he does his pilot thing and turns the helicopter into an RPG, goes sailing underneath, which is pure Jerry Bruckheimer and Ridley Scott fiction. Nobody knows why it happened. It just did. The pilot's got both hands and both feet working at the same time. Got the yips or something. I don't know. It killed over a little bit. 65 feet. Grab the rope, start going down. Just thinking to myself, just please, when you get on the ground, man, don't forget, run in the direction the helicopter is facing. That would be good. Holding on to this thing, screaming down. We got some big boys out here. You imagine holding on to any rope, trying to keep yourself at a delicate pace, with 50 pounds of stuff on your back. It's hard. And I'm just feeling this thing burning through my skin. I get about halfway down, and at the bottom of the rope, I see one of my soldiers just lying there. He's all bent out of shape, all contorted, and I'm thinking, my goodness, somebody's been shot. I haven't even gotten on the ground, and my senses aren't working. I'm not picking up on anything. I don't hear any gunfire that I could remember, but I'm sitting on the rope with a kid who's already been shot on the ground. Literally, I get on the ground, throw up my gloves. I've burned all the skin off of all my fingers, completely. Just that high and that hard getting down. Throw them off. See this young man sitting there, bleeding out of his mouth, his nose, his ears. We got an 18-year-old in here. Yeah, Todd Blackburn, 18 years old, your age. No, seriously, your age, 18 years old. He's bleeding out of his mouth, his nose, his ears. Collapsed lung, shattered hip, broken femur, dislocated shoulder, broken elbow. This kid is messed up. 19-year-old, sitting right next to him. Shoots up the airway, moves his tongue, opens up the airway, gets a seat collar on him. Taken care of. I immediately turn. Oh, get this, as you all know. What happened? He didn't get shot, he fell. Kid grabbed the rope just as the helicopter keeled over, fell 60 feet. 60 feet. If I fell off that stool, it'd probably knock me out and I'd be done. This kid fell 60 feet. Higher than this building, definitely. Unbelievable. I think today, as I stand here almost 16 years later, unbelievable. What do? Turn right to my radio guy, my lifeline with the boss. I'm like, call the commander, tell him we need immediate medevac. Rehearse this thing, we know it. We got our play down, we know the drill. Call him, tell him we need medevac. Sergeant Eversmann, I got no comms. I can't talk to the boss. My radio doesn't work. I can only receive, I can't transmit. First 30 seconds. My first day on the job. Wrong spot. Immediate urgent casualty. No comms with the boss. No communications with the boss. And now as I'm standing there right in the middle of this four-way intersection, right there in the middle, like any four-way intersection in any town in America, I'm realizing that I'm getting shot at, from the north, from the east, from the west. Three directions. And it's not just, hey, I hear gunfire. It's like, ooh, I'm getting shot. That happened to me. You couldn't dream up a more ridiculous scenario for a leader to be in the first day on the job than that. Absolutely, positively, beyond belief. And it would be unbelievably disingenuous of me, to stand here in front of you men and tell you that Matt was a great leader on the 31st second, and that I was casting out great Patton-like commands, and I was, tossing lightning bolts like Thor and doing all that kind of stuff. That's not true. Not by any stretch of the imagination. All I could think about was, how do I take care of this kid? How do I accomplish our mission? How do I not get anybody else hurt? And then a very interesting thing happened. I stopped and I looked around and I saw what my team was doing. I saw my two right-hand men, my two team leaders, Jim Telcher and Casey Joyce. I mean, they've got the guys out there doing their drill. They're not only just, getting the perimeter established, they're fighting the bad guys. I'm not going to tell them to do anything. I mean, they're a couple of years older than you all. 21, 22-year-old kids. Doing it. I don't have to say anything. And I started realizing at the time, I can remember I was sitting against the wall of this house with this old car, and they're shooting the windows out. I mean, literally, the tires are being shot out, and the glass is blowing all around, and I can't get lower and lower than I could possibly get. But I remember watching these guys just for a couple of seconds. I thought, man, that's why we do this stuff. That's why we train. That's why all the stuff I made them do over the last 18 months is worth it. But they're out doing it now. They're doing a phenomenal job. Last quick story, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing ball by ball, but you're going to watch it later on. Sitting here with this guy, what am I going to do? I can't move. We're what doctrinally in the military the enemy has us fixed. We're engaged by such a volume of fire that we can't really move as a unit. 12 of us. But we can still fight. So what I do, I turn to Casey Joyce, my team leader. I'm like, Joyce, get an 8 in litter team. Move Blackburn that way, down to the objective. Get him over to the senior medic. It's one thing, and you're watching movies, read books, or whatever, we all have an idea of how the military works, and it's sort of kind of a little bit like that. We assume that because somebody of a rank tells somebody to do something that, they just often do it, which, again, kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. Think about what it takes to make somebody go into harm's way. And Joyce did it. He's down and eyes got big for a second. You got Blackburn on the litter, and off they go. You watch the movie, you're going to see them a little bit, and you can see these things. They shoot a little bit, they run a little bit, they fight a little bit. Carry this guy, and they're getting in. Gives me time to start focusing on the fight. Like, no time. I turn around, there's Joyce, he's back. Huffing, puffing, giving me the thumbs up, hey, Sergeant Eversmann, he's good, we got him back. We got him down to the max, they're moving back to the airfield, case closed. I mean, selfless service. Putting these brothers in front of yourself, that's Casey Joyce. The rest of this story